Hey everybody, another episode of Vintage Chill and Chat. It's good to see everybody here. It's been a very, very, very busy weekend, to say the least. The New York Knicks are up 2-0 on the Spurs. I went on Friday to hang out with a friend of mine, and we went to a bar near Grand Central Station. If you're not familiar with Grand Central, it is a train station, one of the major hubs of New York, and there's a bar nearby, and we went to a bar. The bar is only maybe about 7 blocks away from the Garden, so um, we were hanging on pins and needles watching the game. And my friend, who is one of the biggest Knicks fans that I know, um, was holding on a wing and a prayer to in hopes that the Knicks would stay, stave off the disaster, and they did. They maintained their streak, and knock on wood for my friend that they continue to do so. But we ended up going over to. He's like, "Let's go to the Garden. Let's go check it out." So we went over, and we went to check it out, and absolute mayhem. If you've ever been at a rock show or like a festival with thousands of people, and you're at the front and you have nowhere to go, that's what it felt like. Is you were bombarded by bodies everywhere, trying to navigate, find the direction of where you want to go, and just absolute mayhem. I have video footage of it, and I was thinking about putting it out there, but um, maybe in a future video, perhaps. But this is exciting. It's an exciting time from New York for New York right now. We haven't had a championship since 2012. I think that was the last time with the Giants winning the Super Bowl, and I think that's been it out of the four major sports. So, yeah, the Knicks are 2 wins away, and we'll see what happens. But knock on wood, we'll see how it goes. Tomorrow night is Game 3, so that was fun. But that kind of led to yesterday, Saturday, which was the Brooklyn Card Show. And on 5.5, 6 hours sleep, I was very much depleted going into that show. And I somehow found the energy to get through, to be as personable as I can be, and to try to talk cards with everybody that came to my table, to my table mates. And so it's good. Also good to see, Kurt in Brooklyn. He's a big time collector. B Roth Card Soup, Dan's Vintage Baseball PC, Jeff Levine, who is set up next to me, is another dealer. I'm sure there's more names I'm just not thinking of, so forgive me. My energy level's kind of shot right now, but I wanted to do this tonight. I wanted to hang out with you guys. I wanted to chat. And I know I went on a rant last weekend, and so that was, kind of like a venting process about the whole grading landscape. And honestly, I'm kind of taking I listened to Mangini's video talking about it, and quite frankly, he mentioned he doesn't care. Like, I don't care. And for somebody, I know he's not big on the whole grading landscape. I know there's a number of people that are not, but he'll buy cards graded, but he doesn't go out and grade cards himself, which is perfectly fine. I mean, everyone's to each their own. Um, it sounds, like Dylan Double D Vintage mentioned in the chat last week that this is nothing new, that this has happened before, that what's it called? That the whole grading situation, like, this is kind of like a roller coaster ride over a span of many years. So this is really nothing new. Like, this is something that seems that has happened before, and we shouldn't be surprised. But I wonder if the difference is that the whole TCG explosion really kind of shifted things in a way that we've never seen before. Like, I'd be curious, and if Dylan, I'm sure he's not here right now. Maybe he has out of the people watching, but anybody can answer this, really, if they've been in the hobby longer, because I've only gotten back into it. I've only been back into it for about 5.5 years now. So I ask y'all this, for those that have been around for quite some time, it sounds like PSA has gone through this before, that grading companies have gone through this before, where there are freezes, there are times where they have to kind of catch up on a backlog, and if now we're seeing that TCG is kind of like that connecting point to why PSA is where they are. But back then, if there was a freeze, what was the cause of it? What caused these grading companies to freeze submissions? So I'd be curious to know that. If anybody in the chat has anything to say about that, feel free to chime in because I'm curious. This is a very unique time for dealers, especially. There's I would say right now the only time that cards are being submitted is if they're big dollar cards. Otherwise, you're either holding on to them or you're selling them raw, if you have raw cards for that matter. So it's a very unique time for dealers right now, especially because the National is right around the corner. So if these are dealers that are going to be setting up at the National, they either have orders that are out right now that they may not get back in time, or they are bringing a lot of raw stuff that they typically would grade, but they can't really afford to spend a big amount of money for a card that doesn't have that upside value that you hope. So yeah, this is quite a unique time, to say the least, about grading. For tonight, I didn't really have any sort of plan as far as what we would talk about. I mean, I had some thoughts in mind, and honestly, the one thing that I thought about was kind of talking about a little bit about humility and being humble in the hobby. Um, I'm not here to cause strife. I'm not here to, to kind of ruffle feathers in any way, but I've seen it a lot of times where feathers are being ruffled for no reason, in my opinion. There's just, and it's not, that's not the, and let me just preface, it's not directed at any individual person or at any individual group of people or anything like that. I've seen it across the entire landscape of, from when it comes to shows, when it comes to anything, there's been times where I've seen it and it just kind of it does bring me down a little bit to see that. But it's such a minuscule part of what is an overwhelmingly great atmosphere of people. And the one takeaway that I have is, it's hard to uh, you know feel super enthusiastic when you're not surrounded by the group of people or the community as a whole. But like, I'll give you an example. Like when I go, when I got to Strongsville, I was really looking forward to the drive because I knew I'd be with my buddy Brian, and B Roth and we drove out to Ohio. It was a lot of fun. Like, it was so much fun. I love. I do enjoy the long drives, and the conversation is great. It makes a world of difference to have somebody you're to communicate with in the car. If you're driving by yourself, those hours that feel like they take a century to get there. So it was really nice. And then once you're there, for me personally, I was hanging out with, I guess they call themselves like the frat house now. So, hanging out with, with Jason, with Aaron, with Joe, um, Doug from Joe Wood Collector, hanging out with the other Jason, from Cards and Comics, and Kyle from Collecting America's Pastime. That was a good time, man. And Matt, of course, from Card Story. That was a good time, and that kind of rejuvenated my spirit of like that positive part of the hobby, is hanging out with your buds that you haven't seen in quite some time, and it's always that was just a lot of fun. We'd sit around and we'd just kind of talk shop, drink a beer, sell some cards, buy some cards, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's kind of a nice reminder that that while there may be some downsides into the hobby, there are a lot of upsides. So let me get into the chat to kick us off. Carl, good to see you here in Melbourne. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Andy Dog ate my cardboard. Ruben, what's going on, my friend? Mr. Wilhelm, good to see you, sir. Sven is here. Mike from Jayhawker. Adam, hope you had a chipper weekend. Storkzilla, everyone is well for sure. Hey, Craig, good to have you here. Jacob Dahl is here. Mike, good to have you here, man. Yeah, the show is pretty good. The video, I just published it earlier tonight, so you can check it out. I hope the Fishtail show turned out well as for you too. Carlisle, good evening. Very, very adamant. Jason, what's up, my friend? Got a Sherm Lawler with your name on it. Hey, what's up, Dom? Haven't spoken to you in a while. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Lenny is here. If the Knicks win, it will be mayhem. Yeah, first championship if it happens. Knock on wood. 56 years. 53 years. Excuse me. Just found you on my PS5 YouTube. Subscribe. That's awesome. I don't know if I've ever had that happen, so that's pretty cool. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Not on this scale. For the most part, it was the opposite. They would offer different bulk rates to different deals. That's interesting. I didn't know that. How do I reach out to see what you have for sale? New to the channel. My email is on the About Me page. You can reach out that way. Jason seems to be okay with the ungraded stuff, so there you go. And Warren D, what is up, my friend? What's up? Let's see. Just kind of getting through here. Next year, man. Next year. I don't know. Dom, do you plan on going to the National? Let's see. Yeah, man. Hanging out with the boys, talking cards is why we do this. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. That was the most fun, honestly. And we need more of that to kind of bring it back. It's the landscape of the hobby is much different now. There's more of a collaborative effort in the hobby. A lot of shows, a lot of duos, trios. That's just how it is now, and it's cool. There's a lot of collaborations, and I'm trying to think what else. Industry news is what we're seeing now. You never see. I mean, you see VRs every now and then. You see grading reveals, which really those were the card show videos that I do and such, and also other channels do too. But those were the videos that kind of dominated the community for quite some time. And the industry news, I don't know when. I can't recall when the shift happened, but there was a shift where things kind of pivoted to that being what people really wanted to watch. Savoy, what's up, buddy? Good to have you here. Low grade, no grade vintage. What is up, man? Good to have you here. Dom will not be in Chicago this year or next year. Okay. But Strongsville, hopefully next year, or Independence, whatever you want to call it. There will be a lot of it at the National. Yeah, for sure. Just found your channel, subscribe, pumped to watch. I appreciate that, Pirate. Thank you so much. Pirates Card Chronicles. I like the name. Big fan of the name. Watch 4 collectors tonight. Just friends hanging out, showing cards. Sorry for the shameless plug, Sammy. You're always welcome to, Jason. I should honestly give you the admin rights at this point to kind of control the chat in your own way. I'll do that. We'll have to do that for the next Cardboard and Cold ones. We'll definitely get around to that. The Brooklyn Card Show looked like a great event. Thanks for sharing the footage. I used to work. Yeah, it's really in the depths of Brooklyn. It's really far. It's so funny. I was thinking about this. Typically, it takes me about about an hour to get to Fishkill from where I live, and it will probably take me a little bit longer to get back, maybe an hour and 15 or hour and 20 minutes because of traffic and because it's the later in the day. For to get to the Brooklyn show, it's a little bit less, but I would say it's like 18. It's so funny how the city, how you have to navigate the city. It's 18, 19 miles from where I am, which is a far distance for, going borough to borough. It's pretty significant. But it took me in the morning, it took me like 45 minutes to get to the Brooklyn show. And then to go back, it was like an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes with the same amount of mileage. It's incredible how I can go to Fishkill. That's like a 50 mile, 60-mile drive, and it takes me roughly around the same time. Just kind of goes to show how crazy the city is in terms of traffic. It's madness. Jason apologizes for being shameless. Isn't it a little late for that? It's funny. Jason with a wrench, he'll get the work done for sure. It's like $60 in tolls to get there and back. Yeah, it adds up. Yeah, if you think about it, because you'd have to take the GW or the Holland Tunnel, and then you'd have to take you could take the Brooklyn Bridge. That would be free, or the Queensboro Bridge. You could do that. I don't think we all want of the hobby news, but that's apparently what many creators think we want. So I don't think showing like it's such a strange thing because showing cards used to be especially the grading reveals used to be such a huge aspect of content creation in the vintage, at least the vintage. I can't speak on the modern stuff, but the vintage, that was a huge deal. That was a really big deal. You get your SGC order back and you would do a blind reveal. So it was a lot of fun. Like I would do videos where I would be like it was a part one, part two. You would do a preview video to show like, all right, I predict this will get a 5. I predict this will get a 6, and so forth. And then you see how close you get. And I would do it so that when it comes back, I would purposely get the cards prepared, but not look at the grade. And at the same time that, like as I'm recording the video, I'd find out exactly when what the grades were. So those were incredibly popular. I think they still get people watching, but it's just not nearly the same as it once was. Those videos really gravitated a lot of attention, but they've slowly kind of dissipated. Card show videos, I think, still hold interest. I think there's a ton of people who don't have access to card shows that do enjoy watching. I mean, since that's kind of like the bread and butter of my channel, that's kind of been my experience. So I can only go by that. But yeah, man, it's just the way it is now. The collaborations, the collaborations, and the kind of I kind of think of it like, how I can't help but think of it like wrestling, where you have all these different factions, these groups that have started. So you like D-Generation X, NWO, and the Evolution, the Four Horsemen, like all these different factions, all these different groups, and it's kind of become that way a little bit, where you have all these different these groups kind of creating collaboration videos, and yeah, I love that Nation of Domination. Oh man, yes. But that's kind of what it's become, and that's just how it is. Like I said, I can't really go back, and I can't think of when that kind of switch happened, but and now everyone's going into wrestling, wrestling terms. Thank you, Ruben. New Age Outlaws. I love it. NWO for life. There we go. Cardboard and Cold Ones is the NWO. I'd rather, if I had to give a faction, let me think about that for a minute. Cardboard and Cold Ones would have to be like, I'm the Sandman and Jason is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I know I'm trying to think of somebody who doesn't drink. I don't think Jake from Legends Never Die drinks, so he can be like Kurt Angle and drink milk. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Let's see. What did Jason say? I like the bare bones channels that just share their collection. That's what I do to keep it fun. Enjoy what you have and share with others. Pretty simple concept. I do enjoy. Yeah. And you know who does that really well? Someone who does both exceedingly well is Orlando. John Mangini does it really well. I feel as though they've kind of like, since Orlando and I started around the same time, and I don't think Orlando's really pivoted in any way whatsoever with his channel. He's done, it's been, what you see is what you get with Orlando. John is the same way. John really hasn't pivoted the way he creates content as well. John is John. That's just, what you like. It's what you see is what you get. And I was thinking about that today. How since like John's been doing this a lot longer, making videos, and it's been the same. So let's see. I'm catching up with you guys, so bear with me for a minute. Interesting. Expedia has independent states at Embassy Suites already blocked out. So I got your message, Carl, about that, but the I can't remember the name of it. You can tell me in the chat. The guys that run the modern side of the show, they announce dates, but the Strongsville guys have not confirmed it on their website yet. So I'm a little apprehensive about booking again without really getting the official word from them. I'd rather kind of wait because it's still very early, and I'm sure they'll announce it more, get more information once the fall comes. But for now, yeah, we'll see what happens. More like rock and sock. Wait, are you talking about cardboard and cold ones? Because that does not apply for us. Not one bit. I really like the show reports, what's selling, what people are showing in their cases, price ranges. Yeah, so you like the card show videos. And those have been going on for quite some time. And a lot of guys have been doing it. Ryan from Breakout Cards was one of the earliest guys that did that so well. And I think it's Trevor from Triple Crown. Do I have his name right? Trevor? I haven't spoken to him in quite some time. I'm terrible with names, so forgive me. But I think Triple Crown 24 does a lot of show videos. There's a guy, I don't know his name. I've seen his videos. I'm trying to remember his channel. Does a lot of show videos. He actually does a lot of like card show etiquette videos, which I really find fascinating. So, but yeah, and the other thing that has really started to blossom from that is putting the dealer information in the videos too. Prior, like when I first got started, I mean, a lot like there were card show videos, but you would just get the display cases, you would get the shows, but you wouldn't necessarily get the dealer information. And I don't know if it was done before me. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I can't really recall that. I just don't remember seeing it. And it dawned on me one day to start putting dealers' information in there, getting their business card and just kind of superimposing it on the videos. So if it was done before me, I didn't see it, but I'll take the word for it. But it was, I thought it was just good business. Help a dealer and help yourself as well in the process of just kind of getting the word out there. And it's really helped. I think it's really helped a lot of collectors over the span of many years of doing it. A lot of collectors have picked up cards from dealers because of some of my videos and some of the other videos that have been posted. So I think it was kind of a groundbreaking moment to have that introduced, because it really kind of brought the collector-dealer relationship that much closer. Yorktown Mall says it will be once a month. Cool. Yorktown. And okay, Jason saying agree. Orlando and John are two. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So Carl's saying he got the information from Greenies, which is the modern side of the show. So we'll see. Yeah. Dom, thank you. JT, I'm so sorry about. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was Trevor, but yeah, JT for sure. Dave, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Stories behind why people collect what they collect is the sweet spot. Origin stories. Yeah. That's a I don't know. I think it's a saturated topic that's been talked a lot, and you hear a lot of the stories. I guess because there's so many. I mean, there's so many collectors, so you do get the opportunity to hear different stories from different collectors, and because there's so many of them, you'll always hear a unique story. If there's an opportunity that presents itself to have a new collector on, and I know Jason and I try to do that with Cardboard and Cold Ones. We do try to bring on new channels that haven't been on our live stream before. And I think we're going to try that again this Thursday. Cardboard and Cold Ones would be Kane. So, I don't know, man. I don't think that's a good comparison. Kane and Mankind, were they ever a tag team? I don't know. Show videos are a lot of work. They are a lot of work. But you get into a groove of doing it. For me, the best thing to do is get to a card show early, before it opens. A lot of the local shows, I've gotten to know the promoters pretty well, and they usually let me in pretty early. The reason why I do that, the reason why I request it is, I ask for it is because I want to be able to film the tables before the show starts. That way I get the best possible footage. Otherwise, if I'm doing it while the show is taking place, it becomes choppy and it doesn't look good. And I get bad footage, and ultimately the video suffers for it. And I really don't want to get in the middle. Don't want to get in somebody's way. It sucks when that has to happen, and I don't like doing it. So, there would be certain dealers showcased as one-offs in the middle of the card show videos, but you were the first to do it for every dealer shown, as far as I know. Thank you, Dom. And Dom, yeah, you've been around for quite some time, so you've seen a lot of videos yourself. But yeah, it's really worked out. I will say, I always report back to a lot of these dealers, asking them if they've gotten any sort of people reaching out. Some dealers say they do, some dealers don't. But it changes. I've gotten multiple reports that some big cards were purchased, which I don't get involved in asking too many questions about that. I just do a basic status check with certain dealers. Let's see. You don't need to be good with names. Don't beat yourself up, Tommy Thunder. It's more Sammy Blunder. The Mega Power is nice. Nice. Any new pickups you'd like to share? Mostly inventory, to be honest. So that was over the course of this weekend. I picked up quite a bit of inventory. PC pickups, I have something that I won in an auction, but I will not share it yet. Some might know, some might. I think I've shared it with a few people, but no, other than really, nothing really new, nothing really that new. Just inventory stuff. Like I picked up this Ozzie Smith today. I thought that was really nicely centered. It has a small little defect. Yeah, you can sort of see it there. It's very minuscule comparatively, but really what caught my eye was the centering on the Ozzie Smith. Picked up a couple of low-grade cards for picked up the Rival Mantle Boyer card, low grade. Got two of them actually, so there's a kind of a two, and then I picked up a low grade 59 Aaron. And then I needed a couple more graded cards for a video. For a show. I'm going to do at the end of the month. So I picked up a 67 Willie Mays, decently centered. better center than what I normally will see at shows sometimes. So those were my pickups. Oh, that was actually, I guess I sort of spoiled it. Those were pickups from the Garfield show I went to today, which I haven't shown yet in a video. The video I published today that was the Brooklyn show. Those were a lot of pickups. I picked up a graded Clemente 58. And then I got like a stack of 56s, just a wide variety. This is a big stack of them. And then I generally don't buy 52s because I just find them to be like commons of 52s because I just find them to be kind of a little too expensive. But I got a good deal on these. So I picked these up for a really nice deal, and they'll be nice cards to put into my display case. It just presents super well, I thought. I mean, I'm not saying they're perfect because I don't think they are, but for I thought they looked good. So there you have it. But it's gonna be good, man. I have some time between now and the end of the month for where my next show is going to be, which is going to be in Milford, Connecticut at the end of the month. I will be in Maryland in 2 weeks over the course of Juneteenth weekend. I'll be in Maryland for the 4 days, and then next weekend I'm not going to do a show. I'm just going to chill. And then at the end of the month, that's when I'll be doing a show. I think that's June 28th. June 28th is my next show, so 3 weeks from today. So, yeah, man. I hope you can come, Dom. I haven't, I know it's a little not too far for you. It's not that bad. Tom's gonna go nuts. That 59 mil we looked at last month at Fishkill with an unknown grader came back in yesterday. Were you able to make a deal on that card? Because I know it was in Mike. I know that was in like a strange holder. It was I can't remember. It was like a old. Was it like what was that name of that grading company? Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm wondering if you picked that up. That was a good card. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was decent. Thank you, Lenny. Lenny, yeah, man. We need to have Lenny back on. Lenny, all right. As far if I need to do a show, I need to go to a show where Lenny is because I started doing a thing, and I didn't do it on the Brooklyn show. I didn't do it at the Garfield show, but because I just forgot. But I'm gonna do it. The next show I see Lenny, which I think I was thinking about going to the Orange show. I think it's on next Saturday or this upcoming. No, not next Saturday. Well, it is next Saturday, but I can't. I just realized can't go to that show. But anyway, what I was getting at was I do a thing now in my videos where I do a dealer of the day, and Lenny deserves dealer of the day. So we'll definitely get around to that at some point. That's too bad, Warren. I hope we'll see you hoping next year, but we will see you definitely see you probably at the next Strongsville show. If not, I'll probably see you sooner than that. The Net 54, you went last year, and probably see you again this in 2027. Oh, there you go. Shooting for the Philly show in September, so I'll see you then. It was good seeing you too, Mookie. I'm glad you went back for your special card that you really wanted. I'm sure people are going to look forward to the video. Yeah, man, we can all chill. I know we were all panicking. We needed somebody with a wrench. Right now, the only two people that hold wrenches on my channel are Mookie and Petty. And I haven't seen Petty in the chat in quite some time. Maybe Petty's lurking, but yeah, we all miss Petty. I think you're right, Lenny. It's probably Sunday. I just have my dates wrong. Which actually then I might be able to go. So that'd be cool. He does deserve dealer of the decade, but he's also battling Eric from Abe Starks because he wants to be the dealer of the decade as well. But I think Lenny and I think you, Lenny, and Eric know each other. I remember. I think Eric dropped your name, Lenny. So I think you guys know each other. But two awesome dealers. Two awesome dealers. Really good dudes. Just chill AF, man. Chill AF. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, man. With the SPC grading loan, the 61 Mantle, 69 Clemente, 33 Gaudy, Luke. Okay, cool, man. So you're able to pick them up. That's all. It's one of those things you just never know. You know, you mentioned. I think they mentioned that they were going to submit it for grading or something like that. They were thinking about doing it, and they left, but it all worked out, man. They came back, and I know you take good care of people bringing in cards. So that's awesome. The Philly show is awesome. Coach Neil and Ray from Philly do a great job with the support of the CIA guys sponsoring it. I got to give credit. The CIA guys, the Texas Snowman, Chris Sewell, they've been really they've been sponsoring a lot of stuff. They've been putting in a lot of effort for the community. So I got to give them their flowers. Are you on thin ice with Scott? Petty, I don't know if Petty's afraid of you. Petty's not afraid of anybody. Lenny is the #1 dealer in New England. We got to be careful because if Matt from Providence is here, we might have an issue with that. I'll be People's Champion of the Decade. He can have the heavyweight. Oh, nice. Nice. He'll run through the crowd, kind of like DDP did, right? Diamond Dallas Page did that in WCW. The Sandman did it, but the Sandman, he wasn't really the People's Champ. I would say Rob Van Dam was more the People's Champ in ECW but he didn't run through the crowd. He would just have 20-minute walk-in videos or not walk-in videos, like entrances. It would take him 20 minutes to get through, get the Pantera walk, and then he would do kind of like the RVD thumbs and stuff. You're a little late on that, Warren. Ruben already did that. The Von Erichs faction. I love that. Love that. That's funny. That's actually kind of sad though, because I mean, oh yeah, I don't know if they're the Von Erichs, man. The Von Erichs, that's a tragic story. So I don't think we want to be the Von Erichs. I don't think anybody wants to be the Von Erichs, because I mean you don't want to be them. No thin ice, good. Yeah. So Scott's. You're still in. I think it would take a lot of effort for Scott to say, "Yeah, you know what? I don't want you to come with me. I don't want you in the front seat. No, we're good. We're good with that. We're good with that." So, all right. So we are at 39 minutes. I figured by now I should promote the upcoming shows that are happening tonight. Of course, we have at 8 p.m. Card Room. Was it Card? I'm forgetting the name of the shows. Card Room Live with Alex Bowman 53. It's been a long weekend, man. It's been a really long weekend. Bowman 53. He's going to be hosting tonight, and 9 p.m. is for collectors. It sounds like Jason is hosting. He didn't invite me, which I'm still kind of bummed out about. I want to be the first X4 collector to come back onto 4 collectors. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, give me the Sandman music for for me to be invited to go back to 4 collectors. I'll just have somebody hold a camera and I'll just kind of walk around my apartment holding a beer and smashing on my head. I can do that. That'd be quite an entrance. No, I'm just joking. Listen, man, I don't like to be the guy that kind of like I don't like to be the guy that seeks out, I don't want to be that guy that asks to be invited. Like, hey, can I jump on? I did it. Like, I asked Mangini and Rick, but I kind of feel bad about asking because I don't want to. I don't want to put people out. You know what I mean? Like I feel as though when people do collaborations and such, if I ask, like, hey, can I join this? I kind of feel like I'm like a cog in the wheel, so to speak, because I feel as though they have the structure, they have the plan, they have what they want to do. So I don't want to be that person. Um, so I kind of just I'm like, all right, I'm here if you need me. That's sort of my thought on that. But no harm, no foul, either way. But of course, Jason, you and I know each other so well at this point, so I'll just bother you. I thought we were cool, bro. I thought this was a 1 hour show. I'm not ripping anybody off, Rick. Not at all, man. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll spend the next night like 18 minutes showing nothing but Mathewson and Mays cards. And there's 43 people watching. I don't know if everybody's gonna watch. I know at least I'll have one person because Rick will be here, but this will be the only thing that Rick says in the entire chat for the entire time. Like, I feel as though I feel as though whenever I do a live stream, Rick either leaves one or two comments, but I know he's probably lurking in the background watching. But that will be the one thing that he says, and that's it. Unless I start showing Mathewson or Mays cards, then Rick will be summoned for more than just the one thing that he says. Oh, there you go. Well, I don't know. I don't count the thumbs up as being. I don't count the thumbs up in that case. The thumbs up doesn't count. What do we got here? Oh, our encyclopedia, our hobby encyclopedia is here. Scott is a wealth of knowledge, man. I know I can, any hour of the day, I can go and seek out Scott. Be like, Scott, tell me about this card. I've never seen this before. I need to know. Can you help me? And Scott's always there. Von Erich's in their prime, not the tragic, and almost not every wrestler has a lot of them do. All right, yeah, we'll go with the Von Erichs in their prime, but you don't want to have the trajectory of the Von Erichs. Never ever. Can't back out now. Can't back out of what, Jim? What was I planning on backing out of? Are we talking about the remaining time that we have? Because we have that 16 minutes left. I'm not backing out. I'm going to try to go the full hour this time. Let's do the Coca-Cola maze one more time. Yes. All right. I have it right here. Let's do it again. Let's do it one more time for old time's sake. Willie Mays, Coca-Cola, playing tips test card. Here's the back. All the mold. That's how you know that this thing has been through quite a bit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And that's the bottom line. Because Jason from Everyday Card Collector said so. There you go. Alrighty, what else we got? Oh, what's up, Dan? Good seeing you too, man. Hope the show was where it was okay for you. I know you had a lot of small purchases from people building sets and such, but I hope you were able to make some more sales. Backing out of not being that guy, everyone heard you. What do you mean, not being that guy? Well, oh, you know what I mean? I mean, I think I try to be transparent. I think again, like I don't want to be the person that is a cog in the wheel. Like I will like what I will do. I mean, let me try to smoothen this out because I don't want this to be misinterpreted. I don't want to mess up somebody's already planned collaboration. They already picked the people they wanted and say, hey, can I be involved in this? Because what good does that really do for the person that organized it? It's more work. But I will say, like, I will reach out and be like, hey, we should do a collaboration sometime. Like, introduce the idea and then go from there. I think I didn't explain it very well. So, Jim, that's kind of what I meant. And I hope that it kind of better explains it. I'm not sure if I tried to do a good job explaining that. Lonely Basement, what's up, Keith? Good to have you here, man. Yes. Still eyeing the Reese. I also have the Bobby Thompson ungraded as well. My grandfather's favorite player. Bought this from Bill Chappell a couple years ago. And then I was given this. I generally, I don't want to throw out names, but a viewer of my channel who went to Milford, who goes to the Milford show, gave me this Bobby Thompson cut autograph. That was really, really generous, really nice. That was really cool. So that was awesome. You'll be on Prodigal. Yeah. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Mike. I know you've seen it a million times, so I appreciate every time. Tony, well, hello from Mississippi. What's up, man? Good to have you here. I love Mississippi. I try when I go to New Orleans to visit because I lived there for 4.5 years. I go to Mississippi sometimes. We go to Bay St. Louis, and we drive along. I forget the name of that highway, or it's not a highway. It's more of like a parkway along the coast. I love it. We drive through Biloxi and ultimately Ocean Springs. I love Ocean Springs, man. It's beautiful out there. Keith has a Coke advertisement, but it's not cola. That's pretty cool. Was that during his days with the Mets? It'll be a great episode. Major balls to be broken. I know, man. I kind of figured as much, but it did what you said kind of made me think and realize, like, wait a minute, I don't want that to get misinterpreted. So I wanted to definitely kind of adjust or re-explain what I meant. But I appreciate you busting the chops. Chops need to be busted. Yeah, he has a lot. He has 2 different cards in the Coca-Cola set. He has one of them fielding and the hitting. And I feel as though if you're going to choose between the two, I don't know, where did I put it? Right here. If you're going to choose between the two, I mean, the hitting is kind of what he's famous for. So, yeah, you got to go with the one of him hitting. And it's a fantastic shot of him as well. And they talk a little bit about some playing tips like they suggested as well. If you want to be the guy with the shot heard around the world, buy a Bobby Thompson. All right. Yeah, I kind of fell into that rabbit hole, Shaheen. Great food and beverage issues in your collection. There's tons of them. You can see, yeah, the root beer, Hires root beer. You got the Nabisco up there, Bazooka. So much food stuff, right? What else do I have back here? Yeah, Cracker Jack, standard caramel. Nothing but candy and soda and food. Yeah. What else do I have? Anyway, I've shown my collection a lot. So there you have it. Basketball Hall of Famer Bill Sharma was on. Yeah. I was talking to somebody about that recently, Scott. I did. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I think that was that. I remember having that conversation with Mike at Village Baseball Cards. And if there's all right, so I know there's a couple of new people, new subscribers to the channel that were in the chat. I haven't seen them comment since, but I will say, if you guys want to watch, if you're going to watch my videos, card shot, like what I would suggest watching, if you want to just enjoy my channel, is watch the card shop or card show videos. But the card shop videos, I'd recommend watching the ones that I did at Village Baseball Cards, because you'll likely hear Mike share stories and what a storyteller he is. So yeah, enjoy that. Yeah, man. You know the vibe. The vibe is good, man. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the vibe going fishing. Awesome. I like how Rick is my time clock. He is keeping things, and he's, you know what? He broke the rule, man. He He's mentioned more than two things in the chat, or more than one thing in the chat. But he's like he's my timekeeper. What else we got? Thompson and Mays with a Brad. Jesus Christ, are we still doing this? Thompson and Mays with Bradshaw and Ron Simmons wrestling. Are they the acolyte, the APA? I wonder who would be Danhausen. Who would be Danhausen? Somebody has to be. I would say Bob Uecker would be a good Danhausen. He would pull a lot of pranks on people, I think. Or no, who's the guy? I remember, man. There's somebody in the Orioles who was a huge prankster. Can't remember the name. Lenny brings out some great wrestling names. Yeah, he's a large human. Yeah, Mike is brilliant. Yeah, Carl got a chance to visit Mike. That's pretty awesome. Mike is a great guy. Did shows with him when I was 16. Mike's been in the business for quite some time. Oh, is there no card room live tonight? I guess Alex is not hosting. Let me check. Because if that's the case, then I'll go a little extra. I'll go past the hour. Let me just double check. I don't want to steal his spot. Bowman 53. Is he hosting a card room live? Usually posts. Okay, so he says that Card Room Live is on vacation. He'll be back next Sunday. So, all right, so we have some time. We can go a little extra if you guys want. I'm cool either way. If you guys want to go a little past the hour, I'm happy to go past the hour and just continue chatting. Hang on a sec. Let's see. Rick is Vince McMahon. Rick's got better hair than Vince McMahon. Yeah, Mike's the man. Keith bought a bunch of stuff off Mike recently, so that's pretty awesome. Sammy Overtime, yeah, man. More wrestling talk. You guys can do the wrestling talk. I think I've lit a fuse on that. Who does this want more? You got to try that again, Warren. I don't know what you said. Extra hours, Sammy. Yes. Oh man. Yeah, I'm running out of water, man. I got to get more water. Look at all the stickers, man. Look at all the stickers I have. COG Sports Cards. Remember those guys? I miss those guys. Snake and Rusty Nuts. God, those were really fun times. Those guys cracked me up, man. Those guys were Mr. Live Streams. They were Mr. Live Streams. Yeah, there's Rocket Rick. Dave is in there. I mean, there's like, you sort of see Jason's sticker in there. Rusty Vintage is on the top. Stan's sticker on there for collectors. I mean, they're like layers and layers of stickers. That's how you know this hobby has exploded, is when your water bottle's completely covered up with stickers. This is how it is now. Extra. Perfect. Are you talking Dr. Riviera? Is that? I thought that's more of a Dr. Nick. Like, hi everybody. Like that's unless there's another doctor. I have no idea what the hell I wrote. You're more than welcome to try again if you want. Yeah, Carlisle. They haven't. I remember they made their announcement. It was really sad. It was really sad, and I hope those guys are doing okay. I heard it was health related, so. You know, I was on one of their live streams when we did a 70, I think it was like 1971 or 72. No, it was 1970. We did a 1970 box break together, and the winner gets all the cards. It was a lot of fun. Like, I lost because I got nobody, and they ended up getting like Pete Rose or something like that. So that was fun, man. Those were good times. Really, really good times when, I don't know, just... I can't really explain it because when you go back in time and start reminiscing about how what the community looked like with the videos then and live streams then, it was a lot different. Collins wanted. What does that mean, Keith? Are you asking me to put the link in the chat so anybody can jump in? My two favorite It's a guy named Ricker here. Oddball and Rocket. Is Rick here? I didn't see him. Did Rocket Rick show up? And did I skip him in the chat? Because if I did, I apologize about that. Hold on a sec. I'm going back. I didn't see him mentioned, but anyway. Who doesn't want more? Thank you, Warren. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. Is Rivian. Gotcha. Thank you for clearing that up, Tony. Orlando, what's up, man? Good to have you. It starts off with showing collections, the dealer's inventory, then hobby talk, and ultimately wrestling analogies. Thanks to you, Lenny. You're keeping it alive. Rick has Michael Buffer hair. A little bit. Man. I missed Rocket Rick too. Rocket's, yeah, but Rick is, I saw, last time I spoke with him was at Strongsville. In order, best vintage card shows. So I'm going to say the Philly show, Strongsville, Independence. Kind of I would say Philly show, Strongsville is kind of like 1A, 1B. But they're both, it's very close. Philly show, Strongsville, Shriners is pretty good. I do like Shriners a lot. Shriners is pretty solid. White Plains, it's tough, man. It's really tough. So I said Philly, Strongsville, Shriners, White Plains. Those are 4 missing. I can only go by shows that I've been to. I can't say Chantilly. I can't say Dallas. I can't say Nashville. I haven't gone to those shows, so I can't say those. But those 4. What's the 5th one? I guess you could say the National. There you go. I think you did imagine it because I don't think Rick is here, but I wish we could wish he is. I mean, I feel as though, like, if you say Rick's name multiple times, you'll summon him. I guess so. I've done marathons. I'm not Carlos. I don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? See, I'm already not like Carlos because I'm not quick on my feet when it comes to, he's a wordsmith. And I think he mentioned that he worked as a customer sales rep or something, or a manager in that field. And you have to kind of be very charismatic and have a way with words. And I think Carlos has the gift of gab. That's what I was looking for. And I don't think he would deny that, because he does. It's incredible how he can go 3 or 4 hours and not skip a beat. I can't do it. I've done it once and I can't do it. It's too much. Chris from Missouri, what's up, man? Chris from Missouri, the mayor of Strong Dependence. Good to have you, sir. I watched your video recently, your frustration video, and I think it resonated with a lot of people. I think there's a lot of frustration in a lot of areas, but I'll stick with that. What's up, Dan? Joining late tonight, was cleaning out my garage. Well, you're very lucky, because it sounds like we're going to be going a little bit overtime now as we hit the 1 hour mark, and we're going to be going a little bit extra into the next, since there's no card room live tonight. It was announced on Alex's channel. He posted it that there's no card room live. And Jason is hosting 4 collectors at 9 p.m. So that's what he'll be doing. But yeah, man, what is on the horizon? The Nationals on the horizon, and I really thought that there was gonna be a huge shortage of people not going to this event, and it sounds like that's not the case, is that there's gonna be a lot of people going to this still, which is kinda nice to hear, but I'm also a bit surprised. Um, I know that baseball collector Mike is not going. He mentioned he's taking a break from it this year, but it sounds like there's a lot of things happening. There's the if you haven't heard, I think it's on Thursdays when they're doing the YouTube get together at Shoeless Joe's, and I feel like Shoeless Joe's is the elixir. I mentioned this earlier to Mookie, but Shoeless Joe's is the elixir for the Nationals' stranglehold over all the hotels. So Shoeless Joe's deserves all the flowers. There you go. Picked up my first Cracker Jack card last week. Finally made the leap. Did you finally get that postcard though, Dan? I know you were waiting for it, and I'm kind of waiting for you to. I think you did tell me you received it, the Honus Wagner one. So I'm really, I'm like, it really, it's a really good feeling when you find something cool for a friend, and share the link and be like, hey, there's this card that's really cool. I know you collect pirate stuff. I think you'd like this, and then your buddy buys it. I can, I can be. I guess I could be either. That could be either like a good influence or a bad influence, depending on the perspective and the timing. So, Dan, I hope. I have a feeling you would not be irresponsible, and you would buy the Honus Wagner postcard in a responsible manner. So there you go. The National stops for no one, as it is a moving train. And what's that? I can't remember the line in Major League Two. It's like when, oh man, the guy runs over the catcher at the plate. Rube, he runs over Rube, and he's like talks. He's like, "Don't get in the way of the train" or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Max Jackson, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope to see you at the National. I assume you're going. I know you have your boundaries when you are setting your schedule for shows, and I can't tell you how many times I've had to turn down new shows. I just can't keep up that inventory. I'm just wondering if you are constantly getting approached to do new shows. I'm not getting approached. I actually no, it's never that way. I'm always reaching out. Like I'm always the one reaching out asking about shows. But like I have my rotation that I feel very comfortable with, and I feel like every dealer kind of falls in that step, depending on how often they do shows. So for me, my rotation that works so well for me is doing Fishkill, which I love doing Fishkill. I feel like I've built a strong establishment with the collectors that go to that show. They're familiar with who I am. I'm familiar with them. I've gotten to know them, and that's really important. And I know, Lenny, if there's one person that understands that, I know you understand that. So I'm kind of just preaching to the choir by saying this, but I know that's important. And then there's the Milford show, which has, for a small show, I've done very well there. Again, same circumstance. You develop a bond with a lot of the collectors that attend. So there's that show, and then the Garfield show. I think those three are going to be my rotation. And then there's going to be shows that happen like every 3 or 4 months that can pivot into from time to time. But I would say those three. Those three are my shows that I like going to. Going back to Dan, I got the Honus postcard. Amazing story. Need not to be lazy. And no, take your time. Do what you need to do, man. I know like everybody's schedule gets busy, so it's totally get it. So grateful. Yeah, I just put the word out there and I said, hey man, this card, I think you might like it, and I'm glad I gravitated to you, and I'm glad that you're able to pick it up. But my involvement is minimal at best. I say, hey, this looks like a cool card. Go get it. So that's all. Max is, oh, you're not going. I'm okay. Planning on it for, oh, wait, I am planning on it for this year. Okay, next year off. It'd be good to see you again. We can hang out. Hopefully, I'm sure you'll be at the YouTube get together. But it'd be good to hang out, you, me, Brian. I don't know if Don is going from the show and me. I'm hoping he is because Don's awesome, cool person to hang out with. Mike, I appreciate it, man, and you do such a good job with the show and the dealers there, and you take care of us, and try to make it as good of a show for everybody. And it's I appreciate it. I appreciate the open invitation. Hour and 6 minutes now. Trying to think what else is there really to talk about. I can say this much that my collecting journey has getting back into the hobby was a huge learning curve. I don't know if it was a learning curve for everybody else, but I was, getting when I got back into the hobby, I was buying stuff, like from that I bought when I was a kid. Uh, I knew I loved the vintage, but I was building sets, so I was building vintage sets when I got back into it. But I remember particularly, I went to Baseball Nostalgia in Cooperstown when I went on a trip to the Catskills. It was still in business, and I really regret um, not going back sooner to investigate what they had because I later found out after Baseball Nostalgia, after the owner retired and closed the shop, that Baseball Nostalgia was the shop that was like a major distributor for all the Laughlin stuff. And that was a shop that had so much stuff all around that I'm sure they would have had the Tom Seaver Laughlin. So Rick, you got to stop, man. You're killing me with the time clock stuff. Like if you're gonna, I can see how long I'm going. Like it tells me I'm at 1 hour and 8 minutes right now. If you're gonna contribute, Rick, contribute with something related to the conversation. I don't, I don't need a time clock, but I appreciate it. I'll tell you what. I'll stop what I was talking about. I'll satisfy Rick's needs and show him Mathewson. This is the 1915 Pinkerton not pack cabinet, but the Pinkerton postcard blank back. I got this from Garrett, Ballpark Memories. I forget where he was. I think it was Shipshewana. He was at Shipshewana, and he told me about this card, and I was very intrigued. And what did I say to him? He was going to bring it over. He was going to bring it over to Chapel and try to sell it to him. But I'm like, no, no, no. Let me. How much you want? And I ended up buying it from him. So there you go, Rick. There's a Mathewson to satisfy your urges, to keep you from being a time clock of the chat. I hope this cures you for the next 10 minutes. There you go. It does feel like an Iron Man match, but we've already reached the hour, Mr. Wilhelm. I don't think there's ever been a 2-hour Iron Man match. What is the best display of vintage, including pre-war display, that you can think of? That's a great question. Are you talking about at a show? Because if you're talking about a show, I see what you're saying here. So aside from the Net 54, let's focus on just card shows. Ooh. That's a really tough one. So for me, as a collector of the stuff that I like to collect, I would say that it's a toss-up. Bill Chappell at the National in Cleveland had some of the best stuff I've seen in quite some time. So Bill Chappell's a favorite of mine. I love seeing what he has at the table. Michael Pike. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Michael Pike in the chat. Michael Pike is a dealer, or he's a collector primarily. I think he's a dealer too. Been in the hobby for such a long time. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's like like a encyclopedia for, I think, for Negro League cards. I think that's what he's known for. Um, but I remember, I think it was the Cleveland National. He was not in the main space. He was kind of like off in the side space. And I remember, let's talk a little bit about Rick here, because I think Rick was involved. Him and Mangini were, jokingly, of course, were kind of like boxing each other out, like almost like Dennis Rodman boxing out Charles Oakley or something like that for a Tris Speaker postcard. And I think I think John saw it first or something like that, and they were jokingly just like back off, Rick. But I think that was at Michael Pike's table. It was a really cool, unique Tris Speaker card. And oh, there he is, man. He finally got here. What took you so long, Petty? Telethon. I guess it is 5:11 where you are right now, so 5 o'clock somewhere. So you did get here at the right time. I hope you have a drink handy. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, Michael Pike is at the National. I do have a card of his. I don't know if I have it up right now, but it is a Totelo Vargas card. Totelo Vargas. It was a Toleteros 1950, I think, 1949, or 1950, 1951. I can't remember. But yeah, look for his table. I would say his table's great. There was a couple of tables that surprised me at the National. I cannot remember. It's in one of my videos, and it surprised me quite a bit because I had a lot of those rare and unique stuff that I really, really like. But I'll have to go fishing in for my National video that I did this past year and get you the name. It was a dealer from upstate New York, which kind of surprised me a little bit. That's a great question, though. I really appreciate you asking that, Dan, because that's a tough one, because there's a lot of great dealers that had really good stuff. But I can only kind of speak on behalf of what I enjoy collecting. Like, my choices for dealers might not be the same for yours, and might not be the same for anybody else. So, which would be understandable. Just going back in the chat. Sorry, because I know there's been a lot of stuff here. Thank you, Lenny. Maddie graded A for awesome, for sure. Authentic is just the the alternative. A for alternative. Those Laughlin Negro League sets as well. The 74s, I think they are, Jim, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 1974, 73. I can't remember what year they are, but yeah, I remember when like Gibson's stats were entered or submitted in. I just remember that card going through the roof. Rick the Flipper could turn that Matty into some money. I'm sure he could. He can. He's a schmoozer, that Rick. I know you like cards. Have you ever seen the Mathewson book 1 in the 9th? When I have seen it. I don't know if it was a first edition or not, so I'm not 100% sure, but I have seen it before, Scott. It's a great looking book. What Matt are you looking for at the National? I haven't thought about it yet. Is some time. I did see that Tony E-Trade had some Type 1 photos that were really cool, but they're really, really expensive. You know, when it comes to Matty, I'm really just kind of like, I'm pleased as pie with what I have of his collection. You know, like I'm still just enamored by the Novelty Cutlery card. I'm so pleased that I was able to find this at Strongsville. I remember I had a chance to buy one in a 2.5, and I ended up going with a different card, but finding one in a 1 was really special. So that was really awesome. Ceviche, tacos, and margaritas. That's awesome. That sounds like a really good California dinner. So that sounds awesome. California fish tacos. Didn't realize until I moved that nothing else competes. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it, man. Oh, what's up, Corey? Have you checked out my latest vintage edition? I have not, but I will check it out. I assume you posted it on Instagram because I know that is your main platform. Tony's got good stuff. Where is it? I purchased my E98 off Tony last year, and I paid a lot of money for it. Tony's a tough negotiator, but he will work with you But he, he has good cards, and it's one of those things where I bought that card on that Wednesday, first day into the national, and I knew that was going to be tough because, and I think he knew that that card was going to be was going to sell in any way. So he was still like he still gave me some money off the card, but yeah, big price on it. I'll check it out, Corey. Thank you for letting me know. Lenny, man, Sting of pre-war. Why is he the Sting of pre-war? Because Sting, when he was in WCW, didn't say a lot initially. Well, he would scream. He would do kind of like an alternative version of Ric Flair's "Woo." Uh, I'm trying to think. Lenny, help me understand why you think he's a Sting of pre-war. I need to have some sort of character analysis broken down here. He never turned heel. Sting was never a heel. Yeah, now that I think about it, in WCW, was he ever really a heel? Never was. Honestly, Dan, that's kind of what I thought too. I thought the musician Sting as well. I'm like, Sting from the Police? Just for reference, Dan did join late. So he is joining late. We've been talking wrestling analogies for the past hour and 15 minutes. So that's why, and it took me a second too. But that's what we're talking about. Sort of a gentleman. Yeah. Um, Gentleman Chris Adams. How about that for a name, Lenny? Do you remember that wrestler? Gentleman Chris Adams? Bret Hart. Yeah, Bret Hart complains though. He complains a lot. I understand why he complains, but I don't think you can put Christy Mathewson and Bret Hart in the same conversation. Because I don't think Christy Mathewson ever thought himself as the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I think he was too humble for that. Yeah, there you go, Lenny. The gentleman Chris Adams, and they share the same name. Christy. There you go. Apparently Smokey Joe and Maddie didn't get along. Both players thought Maddie was okay. There you go. So Joe Wood did not like Christy Mathewson. All right. So maybe he is like Bret Hart then. I don't know. You're taking some bigger cards to trade. What are you thinking of bringing there, Max? That'd be kind of cool. I'm always curious because, I mean, you have some great pre-war stuff. Ray from Philly, what's up, man? Good to have you here. The Professor Lenny Poffo. That's Randy Savage's brother. I thought maybe Sting threw a mean fadeaway. Awesome. I'll tell you what. We're getting out of an hour and 20 minutes. I'll put the link in the chat. We got 33 people watching. If anybody wants to join in. The link's in the chat. So come on in if you want for a few minutes or so. So we'll go there. I'm considering taking the Brown Old Mill. Like, wow. Yeah, is that the Mordecai Brown? I assume that's what you're talking about. Calling for backup just a little bit. If anybody wants to join, no pressure because I can just keep going with this. Never been to the Columbus Card Fest. That's a good. I think that's a good show because that one is JD runs that show. If I'm not mistaken, JD and his wife run that show, and I think Tony Monster Cards sets up theirs. Stan sets up, and I only ever see JD and Tony at Strongsville and the National. Those are the only times that I ever really see them. So it's a good show. I would recommend going to it if you're in that area. Max says the Adolfo Luke signed Gaudi, as I think I've given up the dream of doing the set. Yeah, Orlando says keep that brown old mill, Max. Yeah, Orlando has inspired me to keep certain cards. I think, yeah, Orlando told me not to sell my Larry Bird SGC 8, and I've held on to it. There was another card that Orlando told me not to sell, and I do take what Orlando says to heart because Orlando has words of wisdom beyond my ears. So yeah, I'm shoving. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not shoving. I'm showing the grease from flying the taco shells. Fantastic. Thank you, Petty, for the details. Uh, Tony's awesome, man. Tony is also chill AF. I bought this from Tony. Where is it? From Strongsville this year. Tony from Monster Cards had this, and I bought this off of him. So we have a guest waiting in the guest space, and this guest is, I feel like if there's ever an opportunity to carry the rest of the way, this is the person to do it. I feel like I am Bob Uecker in Major League, where I've drinking too much of Jack Daniels and I'm about to collapse on the table. And so, now without further ado, Lenny is here to save the day. What's up, OCL?
NW for life, baby. What's going on?
NWO for life. I appreciate you, coming through to kind of close this out.
Yeah, man. I'm just, it's funny. I was watching the show. Speaking of closing out, I'm like closing out a bunch of vintage lots.
Oh, nice.
On my next Whatnot show. So I'm just breaking it. If you guys ever decide to do Whatnot, I will say this. When you're showing cards by condition like I do, taking stuff out of the sleeves and showing all the defects, the creases, and the, all that, pimples and pock marks and whatever. Yeah. It gets a little tedious to sell cards at $1 to $2. And also when you're setting up at shows, if you have a huge run of vintage commons, it's great for the collectors, but nobody's starting a set with you. So now you got 7 guys at your table that need 3 cards each, and they take up an hour of space at the table, and that's extra table space so you could put out, more stars, or you don't need to take out a whole table of that kind of stuff, So I was just sorting this out, but what I wanted to show was, so I dropped a bunch of cards. I was at the Bristol show last week, which was pretty good. It was running against the White Plains show. And one of the things that I was kind of like dancing around when I asked you about being approached to doing shows is how many shows are popping up and how it saturates things a little bit. Like, it is exciting to run off and maybe see new dealers and stuff like that. Like, I get all that, but when the new shows pop up, it kind of hurts the people that have been existing for a while, and I think what Lucky's did, it wasn't anything to, piss on Alex and the Bristol show, but, they moved their show from March to May. I'm assuming because they got a better deal at the county center. Alex and Cliff had booked their place a year prior, and it just kind of coincidentally fell on that show. So I think both shows kind of took from each other because they're, away, from you guys. And that was like their big Connecticut show. Now, what I want to show is I had a dealer come in, I had a customer come in, and I had actually been looking at low grade Ted Kluszewski rookies. So I picked up a
let me see if I can get the full screen. There you go.
Yeah. Kind of a nice was it like a 1.5 or whatever it is. It's crease free, and I was looking for one with better, like, richer color, if that makes sense. But I also believe it's got a little stain on the back there, which is probably why I got the stain for the win, right? But I feel that sometimes you gotta get in on something just to kind of get a place marker, because this stuff, I remember I could have bought this card for $50 2 years ago, and now they're trending in the 1 to 150 to 200, depending on how nice the color is on lower grade, low tech grade, nice eye appeal cards. So and then while I was at the show, I picked up your boy Tom that you're talking about, the LC in Milford that gets all excited.
Oh, of course, Tom.
Yeah, so Tom gave me this nice Reggie Jackson, because he knows I like the A's and the Reds. So of course, the Expos. But
Sun
so
is something else.
nice little gift that he gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had talked before about, if you're not on the train or if you're looking to like kind of collect and have fun, but like also invest. I mean, I use the 69, 60, 66, 68, 69 Mantle as like this watermark stick as far as pricing. And then what falls underneath there as far as being too cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So his SGC and PSA ones in 66, 68, 69. I think 67 is a little higher for some reason, which I don't know why, because it's just like his face and he's kind of like hungover. but his those cards in ones are selling anywhere from $130 to $200 in ones, which tells me that the next wave of things that are going to climb up in price because of affordability is like, why would this card? Now, granted, I didn't pay the sticker on this, but I bought a nice, fairly centered, crease-free Roberto Clemente.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, and I'll give him a shout out because nobody really knows him. He only sets up at the Plainville show, all right, in Connecticut. And you could tell him Lenny sent you and he'll hook you up. I paid less than half his sticker. He had it $200. I didn't even ask. He gave it to me for $80.
That's a really, and
and these are the cards that are starting to. I think they're the best part. Best bang for the buck. I paid $10 for this crease-free 64 Topps Aaron, which is it's 64.
That's unheard of.
I
know that set doesn't get the best, the like, but
gotta grab them. You got, and I'll tell you why you got to grab them, because when you look at how pretty they are, I mean, here's like this is like I have an investment, but I call it like investment or hold box. I'm walking the shows trying to find this stuff. It's actually getting harder and harder. Which guess what? When it gets harder and harder, stuff's going to end up climbing in price. And I got another Aaron here, but I got these cards. Like obviously, I know Jay if he's still in here every day. You got your exhibits. There's a nice maze. And then but even stuff like this, like I think I paid for a crease-free 62 maze. I think I paid $50 for that. And we if you've been around for a while, that's a $30, $40, $50 card, no matter what. Not for much longer. Not increased reconditioning. The lowest of the low grades are going to be $50 to $75.
Right.
So
let me. I have Corey from True Card Adventures in the class. Let me bring him in because I think Corey wants to show perhaps this magical pickup.
Yeah.
What's up, Corey?
Magical pickup, my friend Sammy. How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's been a while.
It's been too long. Cardcast, I'm not familiar with it, but I hope everything's great with you as well.
You as well, Corey, man. You as well.
Do you know Corey's backstory a little bit? If you want to share a little bit, I think Lenny will like your story.
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate Jim Gillum collector in the hobby.
Junior. That's the original Junior.
Yes, the original Junior. I mean, when I've done several videos lately about him, I still have all my cards next to my the rookie right here. Where's my? Oh no, it's not the rookie.
Screen. This is exactly what I wanted. I just needed
the rookie right here started it.
The endurance was going down.
Yeah, it's been a crazy fun journey and adventure. Who do you PC there, Cardcast?
So I PC A's and Reds, and I'm venturing off because as my check boxes or my boxes are getting checked, like right now I'm looking for I'm looking at the T206 Eddie Collins.
Okay.
Like the Piedmonts, with the nice red, and they're disappearing. Like the twos, I have they're both gone at 750. See, that stuff is climbing. I'm looking for another Chief Bender, but yeah, A's Reds. Yep, is pretty much what I can see. So all through the years.
It's interesting you say Reds. At the show I was at this weekend, Midwest Monster here in Indianapolis, George Foster was there signing.
Big Red Machine, yeah, I love George.
Oh, yeah, that's where you have a picture with him. I did see that.
Yes, I did post a picture, and I thought I did not think of anything, and I was wearing my Boston Red Sox shirt, and he gave me crap about it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I did not. I don't know the history of baseball as well in the 70s, 80s. I'm better. 90s and upwards, I know it. Collecting players from the 50s and 60s, yeah, I know that. But the 70s, I don't touch as much. So it completely blew my mind that the Red Sox and the Reds were in a 7-game series in the World Series, and he was part of the Big Red Machine that won that series. So that was great, and I got to talk with him, and he really was impressed by my story about knowing Jim Gillum and that stuff and my connection with him. He's like, "Oh yeah, Jim Gillum, those Dodgers. Jim was a hell of a player." He was naming all stuff like, "Wow, you're like the first person I've met that has a connection with Jim personally. Like that's incredible to me." And I got the picture with him, and I didn't think to go and find a George Foster card at the show and come back and get it signed by him. It didn't cross my mind one time. I feel like a complete idiot. Complete idiot.
That's all right. Listen,
So,
send me an email. Send me an email. I'll send you one. I have extra playing days George Foster's. I'll just send you one in the mail.
We lost audio there.
Did you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Well, I couldn't hear CardCast. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Lenny.
You can hear me, but can he hear me?
All right. So the big thing, my pickup here this weekend. So I've been building a 64 top set, and if you haven't done the 64 top set, it's one of my all-time favorites. This card right here.
Hold on. I got you.
The Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
Was incredibly hard to find. I never would have thought I'd have as much of a hard time trying to get this card.
Must be
I've been trying to find it since almost at the National, I think. I couldn't find it at the National last year. Everybody else said they. What's that?
Is Uecker a high number?
Yes, 543.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So couldn't find it for the longest time.
Really?
Lots of shows in between. Nobody has it. Or, oh yeah, you just missed it. I just sold it. Like, well, that does me no good. So,
well,
anyways,
what about like going on eBay or there's?
Yes, I could have, but really with me building this set, I've been having more fun just going to shows and getting stuff live there. I think I'll be more aggressive.
I agree with that. It's better. I find it buying at shows is a much more enriching experience.
Correct. And it gives me something to look for because I have every Jim Gillum card I could possibly get. So it gives me an opportunity to actually go there and actually get other cards from other vendors. So another huge card from 64 Top Set that I wanted was the Pete Rose or the Mickey Mantle. Didn't get a good deal on a Mickey Mantle this year, but I got a great deal on a Pete Rose. And so the Pete Rose and me, I'm like, great, I'm happy, I have it. And then I'm going to, where was I going to? Oh, I was going to a person, JD, you've done deals with JD before. Yeah. Great vintage collector. One of the best in the industry. So he was the one that had the Uecker here. And so I'm getting ready to pay for the Uecker. His wife was helping me. And I'm getting ready to walk away. It's like, oh, hold on there, sweetie. You didn't pay. It's like, oh, my fault. I'm an idiot. I thought I paid. And as I laid the card back down on the display case, I noticed what I laid the card down on that was in the case. Like, hold on, stop. We got to make a deal. Because I had already dang near reached my budget for the show. And I was like, okay, I got to do something here. 1955 exhibits.
Great.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Those are awesome.
I didn't know this card existed until 3 weeks ago. I didn't know this card existed. And when you talk about legendary Dodger teams, I mean, I don't know if, including their last 2 championships, World Series championships that they've been on, this is the most historic World Series team in Dodgers history. And I've had all their team cards, but this one right here, it actually shows them before they won the World Series and won it all and beat the Yankees. So Pete Rose got traded for this, plus a little cash. I had to do that for Pete, but I had just lost out on this in an auction a week prior, and it went for double the amount that I paid for this. So yeah, I am very happy. And there's a 56 exhibits of this card as well that I'm after. But yeah, you have Jackie Robinson right here. It's hard to see. And then Jim is top row on the other side. So this right here is it made my weekend, made my show. I do not know when this will go off to PSA because everything PSA is going through right now.
Tough. Yeah, you can't do anything with that right now.
Can't
unless
do anything with
pay
it.
out the nose for that.
Exactly. I was able to get this Bob Gibson card. So
64 Gibby.
64 Gibson. 64 Gibson. So yeah, that was a good deal for me. Got a lot more vintage Walter Payton cards as well. I'm getting ready to do a great video on those pickups. But you know, I just happened to see you're doing the vintage chilling chat. I was like, let me get in here and show my man the latest great example of addition to the collection.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to mention, because you mentioned your story a little bit, but you also mentioned that there is a distant connection, I think, between you and Gilliam, the family connection.
Yes.
And I thought that was the part I think Lenny was going to be like, oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's long story short, my grandmother who just turned 94, her maiden name is Gillum, and she's from Deep South Georgia. Jim Gillum is from Nashville. It's not too out of the realm to think that they're distant cousins. I was told that they were distant cousins a few years ago. That's what really got me into the hobby and everything like that. She really didn't know because she wasn't into sports and stuff like that. I had an uncle, I guess, that was more following it, but he died at the end of 2020. So, you know, I can't really ask him about it. So it sucks. I don't really care if it's just, you know, my last name is Smith. I don't think me and Will Smith are related. It would be great if that were true. But it's just one of those things where it could just be something cool that, you know, people just said, hey, you know, that's our cousin and stuff like that out there playing with Jackie Robinson. But you know what? His story is incredible. The book on him that Steve Detmore did last year is fantastic. One of the best biographies on a player I've read in a long, long time. He's an absolutely phenomenal Dodger. Way too handsome for Will Smith. I look like a woolly mammoth bear and wolf combo right now. I am terrible. The barber's going to see me and he's going to be happy to see me come. He's like, man, cut the check. All right. So yeah, I'm looking a hot mess right now, but thank you.
You're missing the cowboy hat. That's the problem.
It's not too far away. It's not too far away when I'm getting ready. Because like I said, I was getting ready to do a video breaking down some other pickups for the National. Then I saw this like, he threw it in the chat. Let me go in here and put this on. So get this. Howdy, how y'all doing?
That's a signature for you. That's how I know.
It is a signature.
Those 50s Dodgers.
I watched the show Yellowstone, and everybody in there has a nice cowboy hat. It makes me want to get a new one.
Those 50s Dodgers teams.
What's that?
The 50s Dodgers teams. They had. Can you hear me or no? I don't think.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
You can hear me. Okay.
Well, I'm saying he's talking. I can't hear him. So.
No, you can't hear him.
I can't.
Lenny, that's what we were running into. Can you hear me now?
Still nothing.
No.
Nothing? No.
No. That usually means it's time for the end of the chat.
He's talking about the Expos there.
Nope. Definitely not.
He's not.
We might have to do this where I'll just translate what Lenny's saying and
that's fine.
Well, what I was gonna say was those 50s Dodgers teams have a lot of those players like Junior Gilliam, Carl Furillo, Sandy Amoros, great players just overshadowed by icons and the Hall of Famers.
Yeah. So it's just
a great guy to collect.
Yeah, because I mean Jackie Robinson will overshadow, and that's just how it is. Will overshadow everybody else in the Dodgers. no matter any which way you look at it, that is the direction. I think that's always been the case.
Yeah.
I mean, Pee Wee gets love too. Duke Snyder
I'm
gets
collecting
love.
Pee Wee right now.
I think Pee Wee is like the second most collected Dodger I've seen.
I would probably, I don't know. I think Duke. Like, you're talking about hitters, or are we talking about overall players?
Or just overall from that era? I think Pee Wee, Reese, and then probably Campy.
But from that particular era, though, because if we're talking going forward, I mean, you got to throw Koufax in there. You got to throw.
Oh yeah. Koufax, of course.
Hey Sammy, somebody asked that they dared us if either one of us had wrestling
You're being
cards.
a translator for them, like the lady on airplanes. Like, yes, I speak jive.
I got to show off my couple of babies.
Is that Scott Hall?
Yes,
it is.
This is from the
legend.
So this is from the 98 or 99 Topps WCW pack pulled autograph.
Yeah,
impossible. There might be 200 of these out there. I was very fortunate to pick one of these up probably about 3 years ago for a couple $100, and now they're like $1,500 to $2,000. And this was after it was after he passed that I picked this up. But I don't know if you know the story, but I actually did a lot of bookings with Scott. Scott was a friend of mine. And so we did a lot of business together. And then also to pair that up, you got to go with from the same set, the Kevin Nash pack pulled autograph from the NWO.
The Outsiders, man, the Outsiders.
And those are my guys, man. Those were my guys. And then I have an in-person dual signed. He did like a 55 Bowman replica.
Card.
So you've gotten to know both of them.
Yeah, and more Scott than Kev. So when Scott in 2009, when he first started doing shows, I got in with him at a Just Incredible signing in Connecticut, and I had him do hold on.
There you go.
Had him do baseballs in Wolfpack colors. Nice. And I sold off all my inventory like mid-teens, like 2015, 16. And then this resurfaced on eBay and I was able to buy it back for like $75.
So funny.
But Hall was great. I had back surgery in 2008. I was still suffering a little bit, and he would call me because I was running his website. I was selling merch for him.
Really?
I had a really good relationship with Scott Hall, and I did a whole it was actually one of my last YouTube videos where I kind of stopped doing videos for a while, but when he passed, I did a nice like hour tribute and kind of backfilled the whole story. So if you guys want to hear that, please feel free to go to my channel. I mean, it's a couple years ago, but it was a nice tribute, and I kind of tie everything together as far as.
I think you need to go on Kevin Nash's YouTube channel.
What's that? I'd like to. I was thinking about messaging him because there were a lot of things that happened in a couple of years where he kind of disappeared, like before he turned back up into TNA again in 2010. Mm-hmm. And thank God, I mean, he got involved with DDP. It extended his it extended his life that extra 10 years, for sure. And his quality
of Hall or Kevin Nash?
Scott Hall.
Yeah, Scott. I saw the documentary that Jake the Snake's resurrection.
Yep.
And I know Scott Hall, after Jake got clean and started going through the program, Scott Hall was invited. And yeah, I mean, I know he had hip surgery. I think he had hip surgery, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they had a huge GoFundMe, and he got like 80 grand like in a couple of days. I mean, he was so well loved, and he's got such a brilliant wrestling mind. And if you don't, for a guy who, like, again, being that it's kind of fixed in a way or predetermined, he had one of the best wrestling minds in the business. And if you go back and watch his first RF video from
I did not know Kevin Nash had a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I have to subscribe and watch some stuff, man.
I was involved with Scott when he was doing YouTube. Like, he had a thing called Last Call with Scott Hall. Yeah. And he had this guy named his last name was Saint Laurent. I forget his first name, but I knew him. And so he was helping him upload the videos, and because Scott wasn't really tech savvy. Mm-hmm. But he was, he had a good heart, unfortunately he had his demons, but he was a great guy. He went out of his way to always just kind of reach out to me when, during that period and just check in on me, see how I was doing. And I there was like nothing like that. Cause the guy was just, to me, in the wrestling world, I mean, he was like one of my favorites of all time.
He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. And WrestleMania 10 with him and Shawn Michaels will live in infamy. Yeah. Just how great that Iron Man was it? I think no, it wasn't an Iron Man.
Ladder match.
Ladder match, yeah.
Ladder match, yep.
But incredible.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we've,
Thank you.
as I say, we've hit that plateau. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. For Collectors is going to be jumping on, which is why Jason's not in the chat anymore. Jason's never going to invite me to come on to be the first X4 collector to jump on to a live stream. There it is, man. Jim, there you go.
There we go.
I do want to finish off.
58.
Of course, I say that in jest with Jason, but I do want to mention the 1952 Parkhurst James Gillum Frost Aid PSA 4 sold for $632 in auction last night.
PSA 4.
Yeah.
So for 632,
Yeah.
I paid like $10 for this card.
Oh,
And that's a PSA 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, you 600 or what is it? Whatever the multiplier is, 60x that. So congratulations on that.
sweet.
Man.
Too sweet.
It's like
right.
the Jordan inserts right now is going crazy.
Yeah.
So it's be like that. And so yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
There we go. Thank you, Sammy.
No
Hey,
problem,
always
guys.
appreciate what you do in the hobby, buddy. I'll see you in Chicago.
I'll see you in Chicago.
Corey, be good, man.
Yep.
Sammy.
Carcast,
thank you.
hope to see you there too as well.
You got
Everybody
it.
take care. God bless.
Take care.
All right, take it easy, guys.